Welcome back. If you're currently tuned in to season 20 of Bravo's Project Runway, you may recognize this familiar face. Austin-based designer Brittany Allen is competing for her chance to win on the show's all-star season and joins me now in studio. We are so excited to have you on this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, very excited. Yeah. Now, I know there's only so much you can talk about right now with the season currently airing, but your situation, what I like, is unique. Is you got a certain chance, like you had 3 times basically.
Yeah, usually you don't get 2 chances.
Yeah.
Usually you don't get a second chance, but I kind of saw this as like, okay, now I get my 3rd chance, because my original season I got the Siriano save, so it was like, all right, get it together. And then coming back for All Stars, I never knew that would happen. Yeah. You never know if you're going to get called back for an All Stars. So whenever I got the call, I was like, oh my gosh, it's finally happening.
And that means you really made a stamp, I feel like,
yeah,
too, just in that industry and in the judges' eyes for it to be called back. That's a huge deal.
Yeah. Honestly, I was so humbled to be called back. And I suffer a lot from like self-deprecation and self-doubt as a designer. And I think that a lot of creatives do that. But walking into the workroom that first day, seeing like Rami Cashew and Fabio Costa, I'm like, what have I done? Who did I trick into thinking that I am good enough to be here? But, you know, I'm worthy of it.
Yeah,
and I'm turning out really good looks so far, and you have to stay tuned to see what happens. But I'm really proud of the work. And it took me a couple challenges. The first 3 were just dresses, but I felt like they were kind of out of my control. Right now, I'm really getting my footing in the competition and showing my aesthetics. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, for people who may just be learning about you, tell me a little bit about your background, how you started in fashion. Was this something you were always passionate about? No. Well,
I've always loved fashion, and I've always loved like dressing up the Barbies. It's all the cliche, you know, but I didn't learn to sew until college. Wow. I actually failed anatomy. I was pre-nursing major, and my counselor was like, let's talk, because you failed anatomy. I think that's like kind of the crucial thing to be a nurse.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me just take some electives, took a sewing class, fell in love with it. But activewear came about because in 2019, I had a stroke, and I rehabbed using like exercise, and I just realized like how important fitness is and taking care of your body and listening to your body. And so I was like, you know what, maybe there is a really big spot for me in this industry in activewear, and mixing high fashion garments with activewear and creating this new thing that people haven't seen before.
Wow, and you're successful in it too. It was just kind of seems like almost like your calling,
yeah,
the way that worked out.
It almost felt like overnight. I know that it wasn't, but it was like this tragic thing happened to me that I thought was gonna ruin my life, and then it turned out that it just opened my eyes to a different part of the industry that really I don't feel like has been tapped. Yeah. There's so much boring activewear out there, but you know, people are starving for exciting activewear, and if I can be that plus things that they can wear in the frozen food section, like that's what I want to be to the customer. So it's been a long journey, yeah, but I finally figured it out. Yeah. Like I figured out where I fit.
And you know, last thing I want to ask you, for those female and male designers out here watching who live in Austin, getting to that Project Runway stage, I'm sure is like a passion for them in being in this industry. What advice would you give them?
Breathe first. If you ever find yourself on that runway, it's the most nerve-wracking thing in the entire world, especially when you find yourself on the bottom. Womp womp. But, you know, whether it's Project Runway, whether it's just being in the industry in this city or wherever you are, I always say, act like a horse at the Kentucky Derby and put the blinders on and don't look at what everybody else is doing, because that's already been done. And if you're creating something that's already out there, then what are you doing for the industry? Just do what is very true to you. Don't worry about anybody else.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Great piece of advice there. And we will be rooting for you this season. I am so excited to watch.
Austin forever.
Yes, Austin forever. And if you want to catch Brittany on Project Runway All-Star Season, it's airing every Thursday on Bravo. And yeah, we are so excited to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.